Getting started. I will get the camera opened up here in a minute. I just like to, I'm funny, I just like to make sure everybody can hear and see me before I show my face. For some reason, I just am weird about that. So, let me know as soon as you can hear me and see my garden picture. That, of course, is my garden from last summer. It does not look like that yet. However, my echinacea is coming up. My marshmallow is coming up. And you can see those in there. And my woolly lamb's ear it's always there, but it's really starting to take off again. So hear and see fine. Okay, ready? Ready. All right, so let me get the camera on, and there I am. All right. Okay, so, all right, low output. I'm trying to keep track of how my stream looks. I'm guessing it's still going to be in and out. Yay, Oily! Good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. I was just talking to you, sort of. Very cool. Even though I've been lame at making it to the last couple of live streams you finally had, and I really wanted to be there, but it's been crazy. Hi, Lisa, Isabel, Mom, Pa, Wendy, Benjamin, Jatan, I hope I'm saying that right. Willow Creek Homestead, and there was a couple others in here. I saw Minuteman, Freedom Pen, and of course we have Ath and thank you, Shandaglams. Okay, so I probably won't scroll up anymore after that because it starts to get weird. So yes, for some of you, I am starting early just because I'm ready to go and I have a question and I'm expecting answers immediately. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I keep meaning to look this up and I forget. So I figure, why not just go ahead. Hi, Homestead, Tessie. Cherry State, did I say Karen Lester? Hi. Anyway, I could look it up, but since I'm here with all you lovely people, I am hoping that maybe one of you, all of you, whatever, could give me an answer. So, I do have an electric coffee pot that I run off our solar. And though I do have, hi, Mrs. Soap Peddler and Vicky, I do have methods to make coffee off grid on my wood stove and stuff, but since I've got the electric coffee pot and I can run it off my solar, that's just what I do. Well, lately it keeps clogging up. Ellen Fisher, hi. And I've done the vinegar thing, and right away it worked. It was great. It worked great for a couple of weeks, and it started, doing nothing but producing steam. So I did the vinegar thing again. Now this has been going on for months. I keep doing the vinegar thing. Running the vinegar through there, it seems to fix the problem. But each time I do it, it gets shorter and shorter and shorter that it lasts. So does anybody have any other ideas? Obviously, I know what's going on is, this is a very old coffee pot. And don't tell me just go out and buy a new one, because I know that answer. Hi, Cherish each day. Excuse me. And Southern Arc. Anyway, I just think there's got to be something else I can do. Do I need to take it apart and run a pipe cleaner through a hose, or what brand? Let's see. What is it? Let me go look. It's old. Mr. Coffee. Be quiet, dogs. Get back in your bed. All right, it is a Mr. Coffee, sorry. And so I don't know if that helps. I'm pretty sure it's just a lot of buildup of sediments and stuff within the hose. It's obviously in the hose that's going. See, that's what I'm thinking, Wee Tree. And like I said, I know the vinegar works and it worked, but I'm running vinegar through it again. Hi, Kathleen, a fellow Washingtonian. But it just keeps getting worse and worse, even after doing the vinegar. So I keep thinking, well, maybe the clog just keeps moving, and then it works for a while, and then it kind of settles in. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to take it apart. I haven't thought to ask Mr. Rain. I know he could figure out how to take it apart and clean it out. But I'm the kind of person that, he works all day at a full-time job, and I'd like to be able to just fix some of this stuff myself. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking, Waitree. I'm using some pipe cleaners. That's if I remember. A lot of times I don't remember till I go to make another pot of coffee. Hi, Patrick Nobles. Good to see you. Okay, so we still got a couple more minutes before we officially get started. But like I said, since I was here and ready to go and irritated about my stupid coffee pot, but you know, the thing is, it's pretty old. We've had it for a really long time. I have a little tiny one, so maybe I should just pull that out and start using it. An electric one that's newer that was just given to us. But anyway, yeah, if I take it apart, yeah, it might. It just might. But hey, I've actually managed to fix some things myself and saved him some work, like, you know, unclogging the sink that I clogged up. I tell you, those little, if you don't have one of those little, what's it called? It's a little bladder thing that you stick on the end of a hose, and it's about this long, and then you stick it inside the pipe that's clogged, and then you just turn that hose on, and it sends a really, you know, high pressurized water through the pipe and just pushes everything out. We had a clog so bad one time, though, that Mr. Rain had to get up on top of the roof. This is kitchen sink. I don't pour my grease down the sink. I really don't, but there's always something that gets, you know, grease still ends up down there no matter how hard you try. But anyway, he had to take the cap, or put a cap on the vent at the top on the roof of the house, so that it would force, you know, because it was just pushing the water up through that vent, and you know, that's how bad the clog was. So he had to put a cap on that. As soon as you put that cap on, it just pushed it through there. So if you don't have one of those little bladders for your, you know, to use to unclog, you know, your pipes and stuff, you should look that up. I think he got one. He got it at the local hardware store, but I know you can also find them on Amazon, because somebody was asking me about it one time, and so I found a link just so they could see what it looked like. But yeah, anyway, chokeberry jam, awesome. I've never had chokeberry. I was watching Dirt Patch Heaven's I think it was one of her older videos where I think she grows chokecherry, chokeberry, something like that. And I was wondering, if that is something. Is it more of a hedge kind of thing? Does it grow like a hedge, and does it stay green year round? I'm looking for something that I can. Eventually, I would like to put a chain link fence all around out the, you know, on the front of the house, and then have some kind of evergreen type fruiting thing that I can grow along there, so it would make it'd make a pretty kind of more of a privacy hedge, but also give me something back besides just the privacy, something I can eat. But so any ideas on that, you know, toss out some ideas, or even something that's just medicinal. Our backyard, we have, and it was actually the neighbor that planted it, and it's just going crazy. I need to go out there and print it back, but it's a oh darn, you got a laurel, and it's beautiful, and I think laurel has some uses, but I don't remember what they are. So okay, so Tessie, that's a yes to it being evergreen, and yes that it's a hedge, I'm assuming. Trying to keep up here. Okay, let me see. And again, people, okay, so since we are getting into the time, let's kind of, I may have to repeat this as I go along. Let's kind of establish some rules so there's no confusion. I don't want people getting mad and upset because maybe they just, okay, thank you, Tessie. I really appreciate that. Okay, very cool. Cool, tart's good because you can always add a little more honey or whatever. Awesome. Okay, I'm looking that up, Tessie. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. You guys are funny. You crack me up. Okay. Anyway, let me lay down some rules so everybody understands. And if I have to repeat it later because some people come back in. Hi, Shanda Glams. See you're back. Then I'll do that. But again, I just don't want anybody. I don't want any confusion. You know, I've noticed in some chats there can be a little bit confusion about the rules. Okay, so the rule is if you have a question for me, then post it in all caps. If it's an answer to a question I asked you, you can post it in all caps as well. If you just have a statement you want to make, You can just address it. Just make sure you put rain country or even just rain. That will catch my eye, and I can, if I have time to get to it, I will try to look. I will try to read your comment. The purpose of the all caps thing, a lot of people don't understand this. It's for questions only, is so that I can quickly see important questions and address them, and not, we got to. It's just about being respectful to me and respectful to all the other chatters in the room, so everybody can get equal time to answer their questions. And even then, I'm terrible at trying to keep up on the chat. I try, people, but especially when it's just me by myself, it's really hard. So it's just to keep things streamlined. So yes, please, questions only in all caps, or answers to my questions that I asked you. But I will still try to read your comments as best as I can. But once I get going on a topic, that's probably not going to happen. I'm just going to be looking for the all caps questions. Okay, so got my tea. Oh, and before I get started, I got to show you a few things that are just fun. Since, I have time. I don't know how much time you guys have, but so this mug, my husband just brought it home from work. He's had it there for a while. My oldest son's girlfriend got it for him for birthday or something one year, and I just had to show you because it's pretty cute. So, in case you can't see that very well, complaint department, please take a number. Yeah, that is so cool. I love that mug. And obviously there's only one number. Okay, so there's that. And then if you watch my video from this morning, I want to show this spice mix again. I tell you, this seasoning mix is hot. I know I like things pretty spicy, but I'm not like my biological father. He can handle really, really, really hot stuff, and so can my oldest brother. Me, I'm somewhere middle ground, and this stuff is spicy, but I tell you, it's a wonderful flavor. This is some homegrown peppers, and I gotta show you it again. I'm afraid the camera is still just not showing how colorful this is. And it's all mostly red and green, and it has oh wow, hope springs eternal. Thank you very much. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Anyway, she sent me that. It arrived, what was it? It actually was Monday, because I did the video I put up this morning. I recorded yesterday, and I was just, Monday was one of the worst days. I was just feeling very dark, very bleak, with just some of the stress and stuff that we've been having to deal with. And it's been pretty tough on both Mr. Rain and I, but and me. And anyway, and I don't think she knew this. She just it just happened to arrive at a perfect time with a beautiful card of thanks. But anyway, it was just really appreciative. And so yesterday I made after I did that video, I cooked myself up some spaghetti squash, and I swear I just put like 2 sprinkles. And it was hot, but it was so good. And yes, the flavor of the pepper stands out as well, not just the hot. So very good. So let's see. Okay, I'm just checking. All right. Okay, and was there a couple things? Oh, a couple other things I want to show you that I got going on. And this is going to be a little bit of a commercial, so I apologize, but I got to show you. Some people may just be interested. That I've actually been, and sorry guys who are in here, I've been getting a couple orders for my feminine napkins, and I've been spending a little more money on the fabric and a little more time to make them nice. Now these aren't done. I just got some cut out, and I want to show you some of the fabrics that I got. So the back, these ones that I'm making to sell, the back of the fabric of the feminine napkin is going to be in flannel. That gives it a nice hold in place. And if you choose, I can put a waterproof lining on the inside. And here's that floral, what it looks like. Let me get it. I thought it was just a pretty floral. And then the brown, I showed you the brown. And then the top of it, the part that's against the skin, I'm using a organic bamboo fleece. So it'll be nice and comfortable and also organic, so you don't have to worry about the pesticides or anything like that being against your skin. So it's going to be kind of fun because these ones will be even better than the ones I'd made for myself. And the first lady that order that I sent off, she got them and she was very pleased with the way I made them, and that made me happy. So so there's that. And then I'll get to these herb books again later. And now I'm going to show you a couple pictures before I get into the actual topics. So some of you know I've been working on some skirts. I've got, and you'll be seeing these on another YouTuber soon because it was ordered by another YouTuber, and you may have figured out who it is, but you'll find out shortly, I'm sure, when they do a video, or if they do a video. So here's one of them. Okay, it's not showing, so let me take the video camera off. There you go. That's the one in the, obviously you can see it's in browns and grays and tans and blacks. Okay, and then let's see, the other one that I made her is in blues. Now, as you may notice, this is only a 3-tiered skirt, so it's a shorter skirt. It hits just below the knee. And I did show these in another video. I think the one I put up on Monday, I don't know. But anyway, it's just kind of, it's been fun to try some new fabrics. And anyway, so that's kind of what I've been getting into. Okay, and then another thing I wanted to show you, if I can get this to go away. Sorry, the pictures are acting kind of weird. Is, it might take me, if you got questions, it might take me a minute. Okay, I want to show you my peach tree. Good grief, this thing is acting really sluggish, so bear with me. I'm not sure. My computer, I think, is dying a slow death. I think I've said that before. Oh, Abby's in here. Thank you, Abby. And since then, I bought even more fabrics because I was all excited. So thank you, Abby. Appreciate that. Let's see. I gotta remove this. Okay, there is my fermented veggies. They're all, it's actually all real purple right now, and I've been eating on these already, but it was, I do have a video coming out about how I made these. And then I wanted to show you my peach tree. I actually took this picture, I think, last week, but it still is just full of blossoms. I mean, this is the dwarf tree in the greenhouse. This isn't the one outside. The one outside is not showing. It's starting to open up. It's got buds on it. I haven't looked real close to see if they're actually going to be blossoms or not, but I'm thinking it's going to get blossoms on it, that one that we transplanted. But either way, the tree is looking very healthy, and it has survived. So hello, all you people have come in. See, I already said hi to Cherry Tuesday. Erica and Sharon, Oklahoma Prepper, Teresa Dean, thank you. Thank you for coming in. And if I've missed anyone else, hello, and thank you for coming in. So, yeah, very happy. Very, the peach tree in the greenhouse is the one. It's just a little guy. It's only like 2.5 feet tall. And anyway, it's just doing really good for me. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about elderberries. So I captured this picture on organicfacts.net, and I am growing some elderberries. Teresa T, thank you. Thank you. You're so sweet. And you know what? I don't think I ever got back to your last email. I can't remember, and I will try to get in there today and look at it. I am so sorry. It's been so crazy, and it's hard for me to remember to. Oh yeah, I do get a lot of questions, and I have no problem getting questions. It's just, okay, yeah, I try to set a specific time to get in there and take care of it, and I forget. But anyway, sorry, the goji berry. So as you can see, I wanted to get a screenshot instead of just reading everything, because that way you can have something that you can see visibly, and just, why you should grow elderberries, or at least stock up on some dehydrated ones. Now, I have 3 elderberry plants, and they're all looking really good. They're starting, the green's coming out. They're looking beautiful. So hopefully I'll get berries this year. I just need my pollinator to get flowers on it this time. But in the meantime, I do stock up on dehydrated organic ones that I get from Amazon. I think it's the Frontier brand, and I have a link to those in the description box. So, as you can see, I'll just go ahead and read it through, but you can also see it there. Eliminates constipation and boosts gastrointestinal system. Beneficial in reducing blood pressure and managing diabetes. Helps in weight loss and boosts immune system. reduces appearance of wrinkles and age spots, aids in eliminating excess cholesterol from the body, promotes bone strength and development of new bone tissue. There they go. I have my spray bottle ready. Guys, alleviates respiratory conditions such as colds and cough. Now, that's the funny thing is the colds and cough, Luna. Okay, I think I can't reach her from here with the water bottle. Hey, get in that bed, you. Get in there. Squirt, squirt. Get in there. Okay. Dear me, somebody started their truck outside. It's just, a major catastrophe. Oh, by the way, how is the sound? Does it sound better this time? I noticed last week when I went back to watch it again, it sounded almost too loud to the point that it was muffled. So I turned the mic down a little bit to see if that helped. So let me know how that sounds. So anyway, a lot of people know that elderberries have a lot of cold and flu, things that are helpful for cold and flu, but there's so many other health benefits to the elderberries. I mean, they're high in vitamin C, obviously, because if you're getting you want to make sure you get the Sambucus nigra, either the dark blue or black, and those are the ones that are going to have the highest medicinal properties. Now, the red goji berries do have medicinal properties. Okay, hang on, what's going on out there? Okay, it's probably just the neighbors, so I'm not going to worry about it, and we'll see. But anyway, but they can be a little bit toxic. Thank you, Patrick. Good. So, okay, yes, I'm definitely going to do that. Okay, hang on. Just give me a moment. Oily. It's, the chat's kind of flying here. Give me just a moment, people. Everything is, I'm not sure that I can do this right now because everything is being sluggish on me, so I may have to wait. I'm trying here. I don't know. I don't know if it's just my computer or if it's the internet or what, but I get on here and try to do stuff and it just wants to freeze up. Yeah, some people have more taste buds for spices, therefore they can't handle. I wondered about that, Kathleen. I have wondered about that. It's another one of those things that I've been trying to check into. Yeah, it's not even letting me. It did give me a pop-up, but now I can't tell what the pop-up went to, and the pop-up is frozen. It's not even going away. At least I can still kind of read the comments. But hopefully that thing will disappear. I wonder if I refresh my chat, if that will help. Hopefully I don't lose y'all in the chat. I'm going to try refreshing it and see. Okay, so anyway, yes, the elderberries, I'm growing the goji berries too, but the elderberries do have just so many other medicinal properties. However, only in the flowers and the berries. You cannot eat the greens. Okay, now my chat has totally disappeared. So hopefully it'll come back. There it is. There it is. Huh, phew. Okay. So, but yeah, the leaves and the rest of the plant can be toxic. So you want to stay away from that. Just the berries and the flowers. And since I got flowers on my other two, I think it's my Adams. I have two. I have Adams and Johns, I think, is the other one. So the second one is for the sake of having the pollinator, because you need two different varieties. And one of them, there's two of one and one of the other, and the two pollinated, got flowers, but the one that I needed as the pollinator did not. But I did try tasting some of the flowers last year, and they were so good. So I want to do some other stuff with them. So let me check here, just kind of skimming through. Okay. So that was just a rough little overview I wanted to do on elderberries. I'm not going to go into depth on them or anything. I just recommend you look these things up for yourself, and you can find tons of information. It's like any medicinal thing. If you look it up, you will find so much information that I could go on for an hour or two just on one thing. So again, I'm going to recommend some different books. For those who would prefer kind of just more of an easy read sort of book, I recommend, and I do have links to all these in the description box, Kat Ellis's Prepper's Natural Medicine. And then, you know, and then for beginners, rosemary, Gladstar's medicinal herbs. This is a really good one for beginners. It's got lots of beautiful pictures. You know, it's just laid out very nice. And then for more advanced, and if you're wanting a real, just a real thorough dictionary, this is gonna be where your expense is. You see how much that is? 2 books, but really this is volume 1 and 2. This is you need to have the whole thing. So this is the Energetics of Western Herbs. There's volume 2, and then volume 1. I've shown these before, but I'm going to keep showing them because I'm always getting new people. You can find links to these in the description box. These I bought used. It was the best price I could find on these for $60 a piece, and that's the link I put below. And they're used, but very, very, very slightly used. I mean, they look brand new. And then some other ones to consider is this one I got at a garage sale. It's the Rodale Herb Book, and it's basically like an encyclopedia type kind of. Well, it's got a lot of pictures in it. However, I did put a link below to the modern version because you might be able to find the old one, but I put a link in the Amazon box, and I think I paid 50 cents for this at garage sale. So look at your garage sales. Go to garage sale season is coming, or maybe has already started for you. So check your garage and yard sales, and you may find all kinds of great herb books there. Another one, which I haven't really used much or even looked at a whole lot, but is another Rosemary Gladstar for herbal recipes. I recommend this. However, I don't, you know, the other one that she has, I would recommend far more so than the recipe one, because she already has recipes in her other one. And then this isn't an herb book, but I have talked about it before, and I don't have a link in the description box right now. I'll try to add it in later. And that is What Your Doctor Doesn't Know About Nutritional Medicine May Be Killing You by Ray D. Strand, MD. Okay? He was your typical conventional doctor until his wife started having issues with fibromyalgia and was getting worse and worse and worse and couldn't do anything. And he, you know, he didn't believe in the whole, you know, he wasn't into the whole natural stuff and nutritional medicine, really. Nutrition, because most doctors who do the regular doctor school are not taught about proper nutrition. They're just taught about drugs and what heals symptoms, not cures diseases. So anyway, when his wife started having issues, it made them totally change how he looked at things and started actually using some of that on his patients, and so actually saw changes in his patients by encouraging them to take more, you know, nutrients and get more nutrients in their diet. So hi, old Alabama gardener. And let's see, did anybody else new come in? A penny red rose, and Freaky Geek. I don't remember if I said hi to you, but I did see you in here. So okay, so there's that. I'm trying to cover all this stuff so that maybe towards the end I could get to some more questions. So again, let's keep our questions or answers to my questions in all caps, and statements or comments, even if they are to me, just put my name, put Rain or Heidi before that, and that will catch my eye if you really want me to see it. But try to not put, please do not put it in all caps so that we can keep it, you know, try to keep it streamlined here as best as possible. Okay, so I wanted to talk, the last live show I did, I got, or maybe it wasn't just my live show, it was one of them, one question at least was in my last live show, and then a couple others have come in since. And one was, and I don't have notes on this, but one was about basically life after thyroid removal. What do you tell someone who doesn't have a thyroid? Well, I had a bunch of notes written out, and because I was going to do this last week, and I don't know what happened to my notes, but I tell you what I can do right now. I'll try to address that more next week because I'm still trying to learn about that myself. But I found an excellent video that you need to watch if you're wanting an answer to that. I don't know about elderberries in a hot climate. What I do know is the elderberries, typically black elderberries do not grow in our area. We have to actually try to grow them ourselves. We get the red ones. So I had to buy starts and grow them, but I also was able to find starts that were supposed to do good in our area, and they're so far seem to be doing good. I don't know about hot climates, but other than the fact that I know someone who lives kind of more southern that grows several different varieties and is doing good. But okay, so WeTree posted the link there on thyroid removal, and that is by what that is. Let's see, I can't see it. I can't see that I believe is the YouTube video to Dr. John Bergman, and he has an excellent talk about life after thyroid removal. I think that's the name of the video. And he gives tons of information in there. So check it out. Hi, Kathleen Zimmerman. I think I have 2 Kathleens in here now, so that's why I said the name. And hi, Beth. I don't think I said hi to you either. So hello. Trying to catch up. Don't want anybody to think I'm ignoring them. Anyway, excellent video. I did listen to it a couple weeks ago. I can't remember what all he said, but there's a lot of great information in there. So now, on to a couple other questions that I got over the last couple of weeks related to health issues. And let me try again. Let me try again on this. Let's see if it works better since I refreshed it. It's still being stupid on me, my chat. Sorry. Oh, wait. Let's see if that works. Okay, Oily, try to refresh and see if that works. Hopefully I got the right person there. Yes, I did. Cool. Okay. And thank you, Oily. Let's see. So allergies was the thing I got asked about, and allergies and eczema. I think it was actually even by the same person. Hi, Two Family. Good to see you. And Ikigai Homestead. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Hello. Anyway, you know I'm talking to you. And hi, Susan. Okay, anyway, so I'm just going to read off some of the things I looked into. Now, here's what you need to understand, is that a lot of times people ask me these questions. I don't know all the answers. However, because what I know is only based on what I've done for myself. And so I'm not going to know how to answer questions about how to live without thyroid without having to really look into it. I mean, a thyroid gland, because I still have my thyroid. I was just on thyroid medicine and went off of it. So as far as allergies, though, I have a little bit experience with that because I've had seasonal allergies. Once in a while, I get it. I can still feel them a little bit like this time of the year, but really, it is every year it seems to get better. And here's the funny thing: I didn't specifically try to do anything to help with my allergies. All I did was just stop taking the medicine. I just quit taking the medicine. I mean, all I did consciously is quit taking the medicine, and both me and Patrick. And over time, I noticed the allergies kept getting better and better and better, and I had less and less and less issues. And even at the worst, of the spring and what's the other time? Fall is when, those 2 times of the year is when it's the worst. So anyway, I realized when I was researching the allergy things and what you can do to help cure allergies naturally. The thing is, people, it's so easy. Really, it's just about getting a good diet and knowing what you need to add to your diet or even take out of your diet. And I realized now I know why, another reason why it wasn't just because I stopped taking the allergy medicine, which I know was part of it, because you become dependent on medicine. So then your body isn't doing the work it's made to do. God made our bodies to do these things naturally. But if we're taking medicines, now our body's going to become dependent on a synthetic drug rather than on the things that God gave us in His creation to make us healthy and strong. So, sorry, and as you know, I still get this because that's a physical thing. This isn't allergies. And especially the more I talk or sing, the worse it gets. So I have a throat drop here and I have my tea. But here's what you need to add if you have especially seasonal allergies, is getting lots of vitamin C into your diet. And though I agree with supplementing to a degree, and that's if you can't get the things that are high in the supplements, vitamin C is really easy to come by through many sources. And yes, local raw honey is top of the list of what you should add to your diet. Local raw honey. If you can find local raw honey, that's going to be it's because of the locale makes a big difference, because the allergies, when it's seasonal allergies, it has to do with the things that are growing locally in your area. But if you're getting the local raw honey, it's going to help counteract those things and help heal it. So anyway, going on to the vitamin C, there are lots and lots of foods high in vitamin C. Obviously, your citruses are, but there's lots of greens that are high in vitamin C. Nettle is one of them. I think it's high in vitamin C, but I know nettle, stinging nettle in particular, is really good for allergies. So finding a way to incorporate nettle into your diet. So when I realized, I'm like, oh, well, no wonder, because I started growing nettle and started, dehydrating it and throwing it into my mixed greens blend and getting it, and so at some point it's always being added in a meal. So excuse me. Some other things are, getting lots of spices into your diet. And obviously, if you're not already allergic to those spices, but things, like, cayenne pepper and cinnamon and cumin and nutmeg, and anything that you can handle, typically the spicier the better. Ginger, paprika, all that kind of stuff is going to help. Those things also help to prevent colds and flus if you're taking them in, okay, here comes cold and flu season, which really, colds and flu viruses are always out there all year round. They don't get worse one time of the year. What it is we become deficient in things like vitamin C, magnesium, vitamin D in particular, because we're probably getting less sun that time of the year, so we're not able to fight these things off as well. So we need to supplement with proper foods, and if we have to, then add in the like here we do take a vitamin D3 supplement, which you should also be making sure you're getting some kind of vitamin K with it as well to make the most use out of that vitamin D3. But I don't take it year round. I don't take it in the summer. I don't take it on days that I'm outside quite a bit, because there's no sense to. Because the best way you get your vitamin D is to eat healthy and then get outside in the sun. Do not wear sunblock. Now, if you burn easily, don't wear sunblock. Find a natural sunblock. Coconut oil, shea butter. There's a lot of things, natural things out there you can put on your skin. And this is going to feed right into the whole eczema thing, because eczema and allergies go together. A lot of this stuff is based on diet and what's going on internally. Allergies and eczema, especially eczema, is typically a sign of an underlying issue, like a gut issue or whatever. Now, both of these, allergies and eczema, I'm going to read to you these next things because they go together. These natural cures or foods, excuse me, fit right into healing both. And that is a good bone broth. I'm assuming, of course, you're not a vegetarian or vegan. If you are, there's still other things you can do. I said lots of spices. Vinegars. I didn't just put apple cider vinegar. Everybody says apple cider vinegar. Well, there's all kinds of vinegars you can make. You can make it from pear. You can make it from peaches. As long as it's a good, healthy, organic vinegar with the mother in it, that's what you need. And I suggest making your own vinegar. I have a video on that. I want to do a live show sometime where I talk just about the vinegars. It's easy to do. Anybody can do it. It's practically pennies, especially if you're using fruit scraps. So, are free, especially if you're growing the fruits, like blackberry vinegar. Good grief, that is so easy to do. Just throw a bunch of blackberries in there. And around here we get blackberries. They're considered a noxious weed because they'll take over. They'll take over if you let them. But I'm grateful that we have them in plenty. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Grass-fed meats, free-range poultry, probiotic-rich foods. So it goes back to my fermenting your vegetables. And I'll be having that video come out hopefully soon about the fermenting vegetables. I do have other fermenting related vegetables videos that you can watch, like how to make your own fermentation starter that then you can use to make kimchi. I like the fermentation starter myself because it gets things going a lot faster. You can use it to make beet kvass, just a natural soda out of just using some your own home squeezed fruit juice, and then add the starter in and let it sit for 3 days, and you've got a natural soda because it will make it good and bubbly, and it's wonderful. It's so tasty. In fact, I'm also planning on doing a video using that grape juice, my very first video I put up, how-to video, and using that home canned grape juice that I did last year, and then making a juice out of it, and then turning it into a natural soda. So I'm hoping to do a video on that in the future. Kombucha is excellent. I do not do kombucha. It's not that I can handle flavors of all kinds of things. I think the reason I'm just not a big kombucha person is that I'm not crazy about black tea, but kombucha always makes me feel strange. I don't like the way it makes me feel. It's just, I can have a little glass and I feel like I drank a whole, jar of wine, and I don't like it. It's not the taste that bothers me so much. I don't like the way it makes me feel. I do not like ever feeling that I'm not completely clear and sound mind. Well, I shouldn't say sound mind, but clearly, just clear thinking. I want to be sharp and on top of things at all times as much as I can. And with all the stress we're dealing with, I don't need, that's enough, and losing sleep, that's enough to not make me quite so on top of things there. I don't need something that's going to fog my brain. And that's what kombucha does to me. So it's not good for me. However, I know a lot of people that use it, drink it, and it's great for them. So I recommend it. But I did find there's some other people that have problems with the kombucha, so it's not just me. So I was glad to find that out. I even have to be careful with my homemade tinctures when I use the ones that I use vodka in. I mean, I swear, like maybe a half of an ounce, and I'm just, luckily it only lasts, or thankfully it only lasts for like 5 minutes, but it just, that weird sort of foggy, dizzy feeling, I hate it. I can't stand it. I do not like not feeling I am totally in control. And that, to me, that goes back to what Scripture says of always being sober-minded and being of sound mind, because I think we're always supposed to be on top of things and clear thinking. I just think that's what we're supposed to, that's my personal opinion based on Scripture. But anyway, so some other things, wild-caught fish, and then as far as a little bit more into the eczema, or eczema, which however you pronounce it, topically, you can use coconut oil with a little bit of lavender in it. I do have some, by the way, I have some links to, one is a Dr. Josh Axe video, and I think it's the one on allergies. I think, yes. Dr. Josh Axe on allergies. And also I have a link in the description box to his webpage, Dr. Josh Axe. He has a lot of great information there. And that's where I got the information about the coconut oil with the lavender essential oil in it. Thank you, Oklahoma Prepper. I appreciate that. Let's see. Sorry. And then the skin, there it is. Weetree just put the one on Dr. John Bergman, the skin problems. And there's the one from Dr. Josh Axe. So those are really good videos to look into too. You just play them, listen to them. John Bergman tends to have like half an hour to 45-minute videos, which I love. I just put them on and listen to them as I'm doing my chores. Or Josh Axe, if you're looking for something short and to the point, he's got a lot of like, shorter 3 to 6 minute videos where he just kind of quickly talks about all that stuff. So I recommend going to their YouTube pages, and they both have a web page, but I didn't think to look up Dr. Bergman's web page. But I think his web page is more centered around his chiropractic care, whereas YouTube channel is more about talking about all the different health issues that we can, and how to counteract them and what you can do about it. So other things you can use internally for eczema would be, you want to get, again, this goes back to the vitamin D3 and vitamin E. Now, there's not a lot of foods that are high in vitamin D3, but you're typically going to look at your your seafood like salmon, tuna, sardines, and then another thing is egg yolks. Those are the few foods that are high in vitamin D3. But again, the best way to get your D is to just get some sun. And sunlight on your skin, if you have eczema, is actually good at curing the eczema. Not just because of the D3, but because of the sunlight. It's actually helping you. We're too heliophobic in our country, thanks to whoever, people that had stuff to sell, like sunblocks and whatever. You can actually, a proper diet will actually help your skin better protect itself naturally from the inside out. So that's interesting to know. Now, obviously, if you're more Nordic or whatever, and you're very, very fair skin, you may have to take proper precautions, other precautions like putting some coconut oil on. There are natural things you can do, but sunblock, the chemical sunblocks you buy are the worst thing. It'll make it worse if you have eczema. It may even make you burn worse. I tell you what, I grew up in an area with a lot more sun. I never wore sunblock. I came here, and by that point, I felt like I had to start, for some reason, I was convinced I needed to wear sunblock. Well, then I started having problems burning here, where we hardly get any sun. Then when the sun would come out, I'd get burned because when I stopped wearing sunblock, I stopped burning. My body, and I started eating right, my body was able to prevent the burning on its own. And I'm not a fair-skinned person. I have an olive-toned skin. I get pretty, like right now, I'm pretty pale because really haven't been able to get out in the sun much because there hasn't been sun. But it's sort of bright. We got sun yesterday, and I did get out there, by the way, and I worked in that west side garden and started cleaning it up, and eventually I'll do a video on that because I didn't want to show it because it was so ugly because, the grass and blah, 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 but it's come along. At least I was able to get out there with the little bit of nice weather we had and clean it up some. So a couple other things, nuts. So especially if you're a vegan, nuts are going to be the way to go, at least for vitamin E. So almonds, hazelnuts, sunflower seeds, olive oil, spinach, broccoli, kiwi, mango, tomatoes are just some of the foods right there that you can take to help to get, your more vitamin E naturally into your diet. So let me read that again because I went through it fast. Not that you can't replay this part, back it up. But I'll read it slower this time because I know I'm talking really fast. And then I'm going to come back to the chat and try to see if I can catch up on questions and stuff. So, foods high in vitamin 3, salmon, tuna, sardines, and egg yolks. Foods high in vitamin E, almonds, hazelnuts, sunflower seeds, olive oil, peanuts, spinach, broccoli, kiwi, mangoes, and tomatoes. Okay, so there's that. So those are the main things I just wanted to go over real quick that you can look into. And again, none of what I'm saying here is supposed to be like one set answer for everyone. It's just some recommendations. I like to, as much as possible, throw out some links to other web pages and YouTube channels of people that I know way more about this kind of stuff than I do. And I've learned so much from Dr. Josh Axe, from Dr. John Bergman, that book that I showed you, Dr. Ray Strand. Now, you got to remember, he's still coming from the conventional doctor point of view, and this is an older book, but it's really cool to see, Mercola is another one that was a conventional doctor and started seeing there's something wrong with modern medicine and looking more into the natural ways of doing things, and learned a lot. And those are the doctors I respect the most because they woke up somewhere along the way and started doing their own research. Same thing with dentists. Dentists are taught that fluoride is good for you and prevents, cavities and all that stuff in the teeth. Well, some dentists started going, wait a minute, so if fluoride's so good for you, why does it say on the back of the toothpaste that if ingested, call poison control? And you look at how much, really read that toothpaste label. What does it say? You're only supposed to have, let's see. Let me see if I can find something size-wise in comparison. Okay, maybe, no, that's not even right. Just a pea-sized dollop. Okay, the size of the end of this pencil. Just a little tiny bit is all you're supposed to use on your toothbrush if you're going to use that store-bought toothpaste. And then you got to make sure you spit it out. Why? Because the fluoride is toxic. So, but what do they show you in the commercials? They show, oh, they just pile that toothpaste up high. You're never supposed to use that much. So, you know, most of the time I just brush my teeth with coconut oil with some peppermint oil or clove oil or whatever I'm in the mood for in it. That's mostly what I use. Every now and then I'll do the baking soda just to add a little extra scrubbing, but and then keep up. That's just like maybe a once a week thing. But get away from the toothpaste. Besides, the fluoride is killing the thyroid. Why do you think people have so many? One of the many reasons people are having thyroid issues, because the fluoride in the water, the fluoride in the toothpaste, the fluoride when you go to the dentist. But yeah, so these dentists are waking up going, okay, and they start looking into fluoride and realize, wow, this stuff is bad. Let's see, I think it is the fluorine is the most toxic chemical on the periodic table, if I remember correctly. And they use it in Teflon. So get away from the Teflon, throw out those Teflon pans. All right. Now I'm going to get into the chat and see what we got going on in there. On his tooth, he is now using, okay. I'm looking for questions in all caps, please. And I'm sorry, my chat just disappeared on me. So every time I try to scroll up, it disappears. So I can't, if you asked a question, if you asked me a question and I missed it, you'll need to ask it again in all caps, and please, questions only in all caps, or answers to my questions to you, which I haven't asked any questions in a little bit, so it should be okay. That's just so I can keep things streamlined. I want to make sure I don't miss. I'm sorry, Lisa. That just, I hate it when that happens. So, but yeah. And also, I will repost. I will probably not post this video. I like make it public. As long as you have the link, save the link, you can go back and watch it. But as far as posting it publicly, I'm probably going to wait till Saturday. That's going to be kind of my MO. Okay, so looking for questions. And yes, and again, thank you for the contributions. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Every little bit you do, whether it doesn't have to be a monetary donation, just putting the word out there, tweeting, sharing, liking, whatever it is, everything is appreciated, no matter how big or small. Okay, don't feel that if you can't, you know, contribute monetarily. I don't ask for that. I really, really don't. But I do appreciate it, and it is helpful. And just know that those things do help go into providing more content and better content, like getting the new web camera, you know, through stuff like that has helped us to be able to buy a new webcam. And there's some other things we're looking into doing and getting to help put out better videos for you. And that's, you know, that's kind of where that stuff goes. So, but please never, ever, ever feel guilted into it or pressured ever. Okay, I'm not that kind of person. I just don't. But it doesn't mean I don't appreciate it, so I'm going to, you know, acknowledge that. But I also, just as much, I appreciate your thumbs up. I appreciate your shares. And probably more than anything, I really appreciate the interaction in the chats and in the comments below my videos. Because that just, you know, that not only boosts us and encourages us, it does also help boost our channel and get our videos out there, just the interactions. So that's a lot. That right there, just doing that stuff alone is a lot. So thank you all the way around to everyone, and even just being here. Man, I love this. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Should I use calendula on my son's skin for eczema? Calendula is awesome. Yes. Awesome. It is very good. Okay, I saw another question. Darn it, I missed it because I was blabbing. I'm sorry. And again, even if I just hover my cursor over the chat, it disappears. So somebody asked, something should grow. All I can see is the last two words. I think that was Jatan, so please ask that again. Yes, calendula oil is excellent. I do have a video out on my latest homemade skin cream where I used my own homegrown calendula and made an infused oil, and then used that oil in my homemade skin cream, and I'm absolutely loving it. And I don't, when I say skin cream, I use it on my face. That's why a lot of times my face looks kind of shiny, because it also has coconut oil and beeswax in it, but I don't mind, and shea butter. but I'll use it on my feet. I use it on any kind of abrasion, anything. I love it. It's been great. I gave some to Wanda from Deep South Homestead, and she had a crack on her thumb that wasn't healing, and she tried putting it on there, and she said it healed it right up. And so it's great stuff. So if you can find that skin cream video, just put it, go into the search on my channel, and you can find the, whatever's title. It's skin cream is in the title, I'm pretty sure. So, okay, sorry. Okay, great information. Okay, thank you. What starter herbs do you recommend? Okay, good, great question. Let me see. Okay. Anyway, boy, every time I get asked this question, my mind just kind of, so many things come flooding into it that it's like, then it's almost like my mind goes blank. It's like I can't get it out. But a lot of your medicinal herbs, most of them are actually pretty easy to grow. And so I really like catnip and feverfew for pain. Lemon balm is an excellent one to have on hand. I've never actually tried it for pain. I've never actually tried it for anything specific, but it does have a whole bunch of wonderful medicinal properties, and it is easy to grow because it's part of the mint family. I recommend oregano. It is extremely easy to grow and just loaded with all kinds of health benefits. It's very hot though. I'll go out and eat it fresh, and I couldn't believe it when I first tried my own fresh oregano. I could not believe how hot it was. I didn't expect that because when it's dried, obviously it's not hot. It just has flavor. But boy, it is hot. But I just feel like, man, yeah, it's just, yeah, I feel like it's really doing something for me. So typically, here's something to know. If an herb is bitter in taste, if your medicinal herb is bitter in taste, then most likely it's going to have really good digestive properties. So, for example, feverfew is really good for digestion, and which also it's very bitter. It's very, very bitter, and some people cannot handle the taste. I couldn't at first, but then I just got in the habit of going out there and chewing on some when I had a headache. Right now my feverfew is just starting to come along. My catnip is looking great though. So because of all the stress lately, I've been getting headaches again for like several days. So it's like, yay, my catnip. I have the tincture, but it's so much better to go out there and just eat it fresh. To me it is. And so I just go out there and just start chewing fresh on that catnip, and boy, it really, really helps. Catnip is spicy, but it's not hot, I would say. And to me, it tastes better than feverfew. Okay, Compass Rose Acres, thank you for stopping by. And hi, Bandana Grandma. I don't know if you just came in and I missed you, but hello, thanks for stopping by. And anyone else that I've missed and haven't had a chance to say hi to that have come in, hello, and thank you for stopping by. Yes, calendula, peppermint, lemon balm, and lavender. Thank you, Shonda Gray. Excellent answer right there. I grow all of those. And lavender has so many uses. A lot of people just think the flowers alone have use, which the flowers have a lot of great use. But I use the leaves too as a culinary herb. The leaves do not taste like the flowers. So some people think, oh, gross. Well, no, it doesn't have that perfumey taste. It's somewhat similar to rosemary, but not as strong, and just a little sweeter than rosemary. I love rosemary, so sometimes I'll even use rosemary and lavender leaves in the same dinner that I'm making, or sometime when the lavender leaves are fresh and right at their most tender. Let's say I make a bowl of rice or something. I love to go put fresh thyme and fresh lavender leaves and some red pepper and some grass-fed butter on my rice, and so good, so good. I just love the taste of the lavender leaves and the fresh thyme on there. Very good. So, okay. Again, I'm sorry. Sometimes you guys ask questions, and I'll hit one, and I'll be talking and blabbing, and I know there's another one, and then I miss it, and I'm sorry, I'm not doing it on purpose. So you may have to ask again, even if it's like the 10th time, and I apologize. So, any questions that I may have missed? And an old-fashioned life, I'm sorry. I'm really trying. I keep trying to scroll up, but every time I do, the chat goes completely blank, and it stays like that for quite a few seconds, and then I'm like, okay, now I can't see anything at all. So it's better for me just to let it go by and have you ask your question again. I know it's a pain in the rear. So, okay. Any other? I see some thank you people, by the way, for covering for me and asking, answering the questions for me, the ones that I miss. Yes. Okay. Good. 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 Thank you, people. Okay. Just checking. So, and thank you, WeTree, for posting those links to my pages. So I have 2 Facebook pages. I do, by the way, have an Etsy page. I just do not like to deal with Etsy. They take so much. I have to charge more for anything I sell at Etsy, and anybody who has an Etsy store knows this. You always got to charge more at Etsy, and I'd rather be more personable and deal with people through my Gmail account, which WeTree has a link to there, raincountryhomestead@gmail.com, or through my Facebook pages. And then we can interact back and forth. Let's say you're ordering a skirt or some feminine napkins or whatever it is that you're ordering. Then I can just communicate back and forth, and I can keep the price a little bit lower. It just, Etsy kind of gouges you. I may set up a store on Scott's Market, because Scott's Market doesn't charge you a listing fee, so that way if you don't sell something, but I'd still have to mark the prices up because they're still going to take their cut. Okay, so anything else? Let's see. Hello here, Lisa. Oh, from Southwest Washington. Cool. Always nice to have more Washingtonians. Not that the people from everywhere else in the United States don't count. It's just that sometimes we feel so isolated out here because it seems like everybody is either south or east. And, we're just over here in the Northwest, just here. I know there's more good people around us. I just got to find them all. So, okay. Reading. I'm just reading. Is there a recipe for dairy-free cheese? Oh my goodness, Shonda. I can't give it to you right now, but I did the vegan thing for about 8 months, and I love, love, love cheese. It was one of the hardest things to give up during that time. So, one thing to try, this is one of the easiest things, is as far as like using as a Parmesan replacement, is a nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast, everybody should be getting into their diet if they can, because it's high in vitamin B's. In fact, an American Homestead on their live show the other night was talking about that. Now, I like it on my popcorn. I use a lot of butter on my popcorn, though, too, so I don't have so much of a problem with it sticking. Hi, BC Truck. I'm glad that you're in here. BC. Very funny. I'm sorry. By the way, I can play that song on my guitar. And it is very fun to play. But, every time I play it, there's always somebody that's like, that kind of freaks out. But anyway. But it is a fun one to play. I learned how to play it when I was a teenager. I'm sorry, excuse me. This nodule's acting up. I'm sorry. East Pierce County. Oh, I know where Pierce County is. Okay, I'm having a brain cramp, but I know where that is. Anyway, I'm going to take one of these, so just bear with me, it will help. Eventually, that reminds me. So, let me get back to the question. Nutritional yeast, yes, I've had it on rice. I like to put it on an avocado. I didn't get to say all this stuff in the chat the other night because I was not trying to make it all about me, but there's so many things you can do with nutritional yeast. You can mix it with, well, obviously yogurt is still going to be dairy, but it does have kind of more of a Parmesan-y taste, and it's just so good for you. It's so high in vitamin B's. Now, I used to also make a kind of a sliceable cheese that was totally vegan, and I do not remember what all I used in it, but I know I used cashews, was like one of the main, okay, okay, Annette, cool. Boy, there's a lot of, that is so great, all these Washingtonians. Thank you. But yeah, it mostly had cashews in it, and then you can use like a flax seed. I bet you could use a chia seed that will make it kind of set up and it's, I want to say it's kind of, you know, like a gel, but not really, because the cashews keep it from seeming so gelatinous. Um, but if I can find that recipe again, I will try to post it somewhere, maybe on my Facebook page. So if you follow my Facebook page, Rain Country Homestead, I'll try to see if I can find my recipe that I had and put it on there. I'll try to remember. So, but yeah, so I did do the vegan thing for a while. Um, it's just not for me. I tried in my early 20s, I tried going vegetarian, felt great for 6 months. Right at the 6 month mark, started having fainting spells. I knew I was missing something. Then in my early 40s or late 30s, I did vegan. And same thing. I felt great for 6 months, right at the 6 month mark. And then I was and at that time I was being very picky, very, you know, making sure that I was trying to get all the nutrients in my diet. Didn't work for me. Right at the 6 month mark, my health started going downhill. As soon as I started adding in, you know, good healthy meats and dairies, I was better. I don't know, maybe it's just being Italian. We like meat, we like cheese, right? Meat and cheese. We gotta have our meat and our cheese. Okay. So, okay, did I miss any questions here? I see some people jumping in. Thank you so much. Um, and Beth, I think the nutritional yeast was one of the things I added to the cashew thing that I made. I know I did it in a blender and it came out real smooth, and then you'd pour it and then you'd chill it and it would set up and it was actually made a sliceable cheese. Now, it doesn't taste like a dairy cheese, but I still liked it enough that I loved it actually. Walnuts lower blood pressure. Good. I think I might have read that before. So, and by the way, I bought some black walnut shells ground. I cannot remember why I bought it, but I know they have a lot of good medicinal properties. And you put in I was going to make a tincture out of it, but I can't even remember what what for. But oh, and here's something. Okay, so Mr. Rain, I was like, Grandma, I love you. I'm glad you're in here. I'm glad you're all in here. Sorry, I'm not playing favorites. Trust me. Darn it, what was I going to say? Okay, I know I'm already at an hour, but an hour is supposed to be my limit, but you know, it's kind of I do have chores I'm going to have to get to, but I'm going to keep going here because I want to say this. So, I've talked before about valerian root. Let me take another sip of tea. I feel rude because I got this throat lozenge in here, but it does kind of help keep me from coughing so much. And by the way, oh, I was going to come back to this. So now I got two things. I better write them down. I'm going to forget. Goodness sakes, I'm a rabbit trailer. Bad. So, let me write it down. Throat lozenge and valerian. Okay. When we talk about throat lozenge, because I was starting to say this earlier and I don't think I finished about the elderberry. I am one of these days going to make my own throat lozenges with honey and elderberry and marshmallow root. And I keep forgetting to try it. Right now, I'm using Ricola, which is, you know, I like the taste of it, and at least it's herbal, but I don't really trust all the ingredients because I don't know what all's in there. I'm assuming the sugar that's in there is probably GMO, but it's what I have. Now, I had bought a whole bunch of these elderberry throat lozenges, organic, and they taste good, but they are so rough that they just totally rip your tongue up. You just have one, and it's like, okay, I can't have any more. It hurts so bad, your tongue. You can't have another one for days because your tongue is so sore. So I need to make my own throat lozenges. I'm gonna not Homestead Mama. What's her name? Oh, she has a webpage. She doesn't have a channel. She has a webpage that I love, and I've talked about her before. Katie, Wellness Mama. There we go. She has a recipe on her website. So look up Wellness Mama. I don't know the actual URL, but you'll find it. Just look up Wellness Mama. You'll find her webpage. She's got really great recipes. And she has one on throat lozenges, an herbal throat lozenge. And so I'm going to base it off that. That's where I got the base for my mascara recipe. And then made my own changes along the way. So I've got a lot of recipes from her, then just added my own tweaks and made it to make it my own, that suited me better. So I'm going to try that someday if I ever remember. So, but elderberries you can make a really good throat lozenge out of that. I just got to get to it. So back to the valerian root and our recent experience. So some of you know we have been under an incredible amount of stress with some rather big serious issues that have been put on our plate lately. And I can't go into details, and I'm sorry. And for those of you who've been praying, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think the only reason, the past week has been very dark and bleak. Today I'm feeling hopeful, and you can probably tell by my demeanor. It's and I know a lot of it's been the encouragement I've received from people and the prayers. Thank you so much. Keep them coming because it's not over yet what we're going through. And I may or may not go into detail down the road. It'll just depend on some things. But anyway, so Mr. Rain, yesterday morning, I decided to give him about a half ounce maybe to an ounce of valerian root in his. Usually in the morning what I do is I put together our own homemade supplements, and then I'll have like a little shot glass. They're really cute shot glasses. They look like little tiny canning jars. And I bought them specifically for taking tinctures and stuff. And I'll usually fill it maybe half full of the herbal tea from the night before. And that's just to cover up the flavor of the iodine, because I'll usually put a couple drops of iodine in there, Lugel's iodine. And then I'll add and then the rest of the way with colloidal silver. And in mine, I'll sprinkle eggshells in mine. And him, I give him the eggshells in the ground eggshells in a capsule form. And that we usually take that. So yesterday morning, instead of using the tea, and this morning, I put in the valerian root tincture. And it's not just valerian root. It has passion flower, lavender, and licorice root. And he said he didn't even know, because I forgot to tell him that to watch out, that might taste weird. I can tell these things are swelling, because when my throat my voice starts changing, my nodules are swelling up in there. Anyway, I forgot to tell him, be warned, that's going to taste a little weirder than usual. And I totally forgot to tell him about it. So he just took it and went to work, and when he came home last night, he's like, boy, I just felt a lot more alert today. It really felt like I was on top of things. And I'm telling you, neither one of us have been sleeping well he hasn't been sleeping well for at least a year, but especially this past week, we've hardly got any sleep. It's just been, last night I slept pretty good, but anyway, and I go, that's right, I forgot to tell you, I gave you some valerian root tincture yesterday morning. And he's like, well, I need some more of that. So I gave him some more last night. He still didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but then put it in his little mix that I gave him this morning. So we'll see, when he comes home, we'll see how that worked. But yeah, that's what I've noticed about the valerian root. It's not, people think it's just supposed to knock you out. It doesn't knock you out because it makes you sleepy. It knocks you out if you're trying to sleep, because it calms the nerves, and obviously it seems to help make you be able to, because you're calm and it helps relieve the stress. Then it also, yes, oily, it helps promote rest. But even when it's like that one live show I was talking about valerian root, I took some about a half an hour before the show, because a lot of times it can take about 20 minutes before you can feel the effects. I was as hyper as I am now. It didn't make me unhyper, but it made me relaxed and calm. And boy, I when my muscles start to get tight from stress and my shoulders, they'll just start to tighten up. I take some valerian root tincture, and within 20 minutes, it's just like, it really just feels like, like everything's just kind of letting go, and it's so wonderful. So I still have yet to see my valerian root or my Valerian seeds that I planted do anything. So hopefully I'll try. I'm gonna try planting some more in the greenhouse, you know, in some pots, and see if I can get it to grow, because I really want to grow my own. But until then, I do stock up on valerian root, organic. I think it is the Frontier brand. I mentioned this before. I use either Frontier or Star West, whichever one I can get in the organic version, that in bulk, because I like to buy everything in at least a 1 pound bag, because I like to get the best price, best bang for my buck. And yes, valerian smells very strong. I don't mind the smell a whole lot. Some people can't stand it. Some people equate it to sweaty gym socks, which I can kind of see. It's a sweet, spicy smell, which you think would smell good, but it's just odd. It's very odd and very strong. I can have that little shot glass that, you know, we had the valerian tincture in there, and we drink it up, and if it sit it on the sink, and until that glass gets washed, I can smell that valerian root, the whole, or that tincture, all through the house. You just gotta hurry up and wash that stuff, otherwise it's just the smell, you know, it's just always there. So Wheat Tree's got some really good information in there, and I know Oily's been putting a lot of really good stuff. So make sure you read those comments. Really, really good things in there. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to read this because there's some. Thank you, Wheat Tree and Oily, for those. All right, good. And I'm really glad Old Alabama Gardener's in here throwing in some really good stuff as well. Smells change once you use different herbs, oils. Interesting. I can see that though. Oily, would that be because your body chemistry kind of changes? I don't know if I'm wording that right, because sometimes I think it sounds funny saying body chemistry, but there is some truth to that, I know. Exactly, Simple Life Homestead. Right. Absolutely. Like Valium is synthetic. People want to try to tell you it's natural. No, it's synthetic version of valerian is what it is. So because and Oily, I asked that because one thing I've noticed, and I'm sure a lot of people that are in here who have been doing the more natural thing, when you start getting away from all that synthetic garbage, the store-bought shampoos, the lotions, the laundry detergents, the perfumes, any of that stuff, I notice now that I am super sensitive. Like, I can't even, like, go into the store and get too close to the doggone laundry aisle, and it's like, oh, you know, or just things like that, or somebody wearing perfume that's synthetic, and it's like, okay, it just makes me feel ill. So I'm curious if anybody else in here, or how many other people in here, notice that since they've gone more natural, they're more sensitive to things that do not belong in the body. I know with oils, often you are put off from the scent. Your body needs it physically. If you love the scents, and you need it spiritually and emotionally. Okay, cool. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Oily. Yeah, your taste buds always seem to change when you get pregnant. And so do your olfactory glands, right? Am I right? I remember one time, even this, I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I still love the smell of coffee. I remember one time smelling, I was brewing some coffee for Patrick, and I was pregnant with one of my boys, and the smell of the coffee made me gag. It's like, are you serious? And I could not do deer meat at all during those times. Not at all. Weird. So I would just assume I didn't need those things. But I tell you what, with Ryan, I had cayenne pepper in and on everything the whole time I was pregnant with him, and even while I was nursing him. And you know, that kid, he can handle hotter stuff than I can, and I'm telling you, that's got to be why. Poor kid. Liked that cayenne pepper. I had on everything. So I didn't eat it that much when I was pregnant with Justin, so he doesn't, you know, he'll still eat some hot stuff, but not near as hot as Ryan. So I just think that's funny. Even as a kindergartner. Now, Ryan did do public school for kindergarten. That was it. That's the only public school either of my boys ever had was Ryan, kindergarten. And he got to where he'd make his own sandwiches to take to school. And he was happy to just have jalapenos and mustard on his sandwiches, and he was happy with that. And he would make his own sandwiches and take them to school, and he was pretty proud of that. Okay, I just saw livers. And I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up here. Okay, yeah, Hope Springs Eternal. Can't go down the chemical aisles. Once you detox, your sense of smell changes. There. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up. Yep. Right, Simple Life. Okay, so I'm just sorry, people who are watching this later. Just catching up on some comments. People are agreeing with me on the sensitivity to all this junk. Yeah, homeschool's the way to go, if you can. And honestly, and I know this is a total different subject, and it's easy for me to get on my soapbox when I talk about homeschool, but just in my observances over the years, I think that even a single parent could homeschool their kid, as who's having to work a full-time job. I believe it can be done because, believe it or not, your child does not need hours and hours and hours of sit-down book work. That's not how we were created to learn. Children are made to get out and experience things hands-on, and they learn best. In general, most children are going to learn best with hands-on, practical things. So, for example, what's a really good way they can learn about math? They go shopping with you. You have them do some price comparisons. You weigh things out and how many ounces are in a pound and blah, 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 blah. There's just so many ways to naturally incorporate mathematics, science, history. I apologize. All of it. English, language arts, into everything throughout the day. It does not have to be sitting down doing busy book work, because that's all it is that they're doing in school. Book work. Or they're going, and then I cannot believe how much homework these kids in elementary school. We didn't have homework when we were in elementary school. Now you've got kids in elementary school that they're in school for even longer than I was when I was in school for the day. Then they go home and still have hours of homework to do. What in the world? So you think about that. If you're a single parent with a full-time job, maybe you have to send your kid to childcare or grandparents take care of them or whatever it is, they can learn so much in just a couple of hours of your time per day doing whatever. There's so much. And if you look into your state laws, you may find out that most kids, by law, do not have to start any kind of formal education until the age of 8. I know it's that way in Washington State. And why is that? People are like, well, I got to get my kid in as soon as I can because they're going to learn better. No, they are not. If they are not ready at the age of 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, they are not going to be farther ahead than the kid that waits until they're 8 and they're actually ready to start learning that way. Believe me, I know this from experience as a homeschool mom, and experience as someone who taught ballet to kids from ages 3 clear up through teens for 27 years straight, plus a few years before I came here. And then later started the Taekwondo classes. Great Oklahoma prepper. Yes, and I had a story about how when my son was my oldest, I think he was 14, and we were getting ready to head into town. We had to stop by the hardware store, and I had to run in there real quick. And there was an older guy on the other side that was asking the guy that worked there, how many centimeters are in a foot. Now, those of us who grew up on the American, way of, sorry, words are escaping me. We went by feet, inches, and all that. That's what we were taught rather than metric. We're kind of like, I don't know. So I said, I think my son knows. I got to run out to the truck anyway. Let me go ask him. So I come back in and he said, well, he said there's, what is it, like 2.53, whatever the number was, centimeters in an inch. And so then they did the math from there. And then the owner of the store looks at me and says, how did your son know that? I'm like, because he learned it in math. And he said, but they're not teaching that here in the schools here. So how does he know that? How old is he? I said, he's 14. I said, well, he homeschools. And he goes, oh, that's why he knows that. And then he went on to tell me that he had to make a math test, a basic math test, in order to be able to get employees. He needed employees that had at least basic math skills. And he said the only people that ever aced the basic math test as part of the application were homeschooled people. And I thought that was really interesting. But he says, yeah, I cannot have people in here that don't even know how many feet are in a yard or how many quarts are in a gallon. And these are the kind of questions that would be on his test, and a lot of people couldn't answer it. I was just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's crazy. So, anyway, blah, blah, blah. There I go. I said I wasn't going to get on a soapbox, and I did. So, okay. Well, I should probably get off here. It's already almost 20 after 12 on my end. I don't know how late it is on your end. I'm not sure what the time lag is here. But I do need to get to my chores. I think I need to stoke my fire, and I've got laundry to hang. I haven't even hung my laundry up yet. And it looks like it's not raining at the moment, so I may try to get outside and see if I can get a little more outside work done. So, yes, right, Oily. See, you guys are going to suck me back in, and I'm going to stay here for another hour going on my soapbox about school. Well, let me share one more quick story. My youngest son, my oldest son, was so easy to teach to read, just like that. I mean, by first grade, he was reading at a fifth grade level. Now, my youngest son, it was a lot of trial and error with what was going to work with him, teach him to read. And I realized he was not ready to learn to read. And so I just kind of put all that stuff on hold. And you know, when he was ready, he was ready. He was a lot later than Ryan, but he was ready, and he got in there, and he did. You know what got him to read? He decided he wanted to start writing his own stories. And I'm like, go for it, because none of the books that we had, language arts books, were helping him. It was him deciding to write his own stories that forced him to learn about language arts, proper sentence structure, how to spell, and all that kind of stuff. They will find their way. Trust me. So, anyway, I really do have to go. Thank you so much. Thank you, moderators, for popping in here and helping out and posting links and just keeping everything on track. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, all you people who popped in here just to say hi and ask questions and interact. And I'm sorry if I missed any important questions. I'm really trying to get better at it. So anyway, I guess that's it. I got to go, and I'll try next week. Just watch for updates. If you have Facebook, get on Facebook or Twitter, and I will try to post updates on there as to whether or not for sure I'll be doing a live show next week at the same time. So, and then Mr. Rain and I will eventually start doing live shows on the weekends off and on. So, thanks for coming in. Love y'all. Take care, and God bless.